Hi and welcome to Old School Blues Guitar. It is time for the classic song breakdown for the months of July to September 2017. By request, we're going to take a look at a song called Double Trouble by Otis Rush. And this is one of the all-time great minor blues ever recorded. The song's a little tricky to figure out because there are two guitar players on this, and both of them are playing lead lines. And you've got Otis Rush, of course, and then guest starring on the second guitar and playing a lot of the fills in this tune is Ike Turner. And Ike Turner had a very distinct style. And I'll try to go through this with you and as much as possible differentiate between the two guitar players, but it's really tough to do. And so instead, what I think I'm going to do is break the song down into the introduction, the fills, the solos, and then just take a look at some of the licks that he does, and that includes the fills, and try to show you the gist of what he's doing on this tune. Let's start out with the introduction, and Double Trouble is in the key of D. So I've got a little closer zoom in camera angle here on this area around the first position blues box in D. Now that's my first position bar chord as a D major, but the tune is actually really in D minor. So most of the fills and licks we're going to be playing right around the first position blues box out of D, a little bit in the second, and then we're going to go way up the neck for a couple of really cool ideas. Let's start out with the introduction to Double Trouble. And I'll just kind of go through this one phrase at a time. I'm not going to try to play the whole thing because it really doesn't make sense without a backing track. Again, my channel, I really expect you to know these songs a little bit before you try to learn them. Listen to the original by Otis Rush. And when I say the original, I mean the version he recorded for Cobra Records in the late 1950s. So here we go. It's in D. So that's kind of the first part of it, played roughly. And he starts out, we're in the first position, D blues box, and I'm going to bend up on the third string at the 12th fret, and then I'm going to get the 10th fret of the second and first string. So I got my first finger barred there, and then I'm going to take my second and third finger, my third finger is pushing up on the 12th fret of the third string. And you got that little lick to kick it off. And then right away, he gets a D minor chord. Now he's not playing the full shape. I don't hear that, maybe he is. But what I'm hearing is really the first, second, and third strings. And from the way it sounds, I'm guessing he's picking down, getting the third string and the second string mostly. It sounds a little more full. So that opening lick to Double Trouble. And then the next lick, he's gonna slide. I don't know where he starts this from, but anywhere from the 10th fret, roughly around the 10th fret of the 4th string, he's gonna slide in to the 12th fret of the 4th string, and then he's gonna go to the 10th fret of the 3rd string and the 12th fret. So it's like this, and end up on the 10th fret of the 3rd string. So that's a pretty simple lick. The slide, you can hear it in the original tune. That's what he does. He doesn't just start here. He slides into it like that. And then comes a really cool and different bend. Now, if you don't know anything about Otis Rush, you should know that he was left-handed. And he played a right-handed guitar turned upside down. Other people have done that. And so when he bends, if you watch any of the video that's available of him, it really kind of throws you off if you're just learning guitar and you watch him doing all this stuff left-handed. But the bend he gets at this next point in the introduction, I think he can only do it because of the way he's playing the guitar, and I think we can imitate it. I'm not positive on this, but what I think he's doing is this. And what I'm doing there is picking on the 3rd string, 14th fret, and then I'm sliding into the bend at the 12th fret. And there's no in between. It's a pick, and then right into the bend. Listen to the original carefully and see if you agree. I have no idea. This is my idea of what he's doing here. And so he does this, and then it sounds like there's a little bass run in there. Again, this song has a lot going on in the background, and it's really difficult to hear exactly what's happening and who's playing it. And what I think is he's doing this bass scale. So he's right there. So I'm going from the bend, 10th fret of the 3rd string, 12-10 on the 4th string, 12-10 on the 5th string, and then 8th fret of the 5th string, 10th fret of the 6th string. So you've got this little bass scale thing. And it sounds to me like throughout the song, Ike Turner or whoever's playing this part is using that scale along with the bends on the 3rd string and the other strings that you'll see. So let's try that one more time. Let's take it all the way from the top and see if we can go through it. I'll try to play it slowly. Right there. And then you hear this, which is just a really cool lick, and it's very simple. What I'm doing is taking this minor chord shape over the 2nd position bar chord. So if I'm just going to show you the fingering right here, and then I'll move it up. My first finger on the 1st string, 10th fret, this would be a G minor. My 2nd finger on the 11th fret of the 2nd string, and my ring finger on the 12th fret of the 3rd string. Now to make it a D minor, we're going to move all the way up till we're at the 17th to the 19th fret. And that's the same as this, or this. Those are all different ways to play a D minor. And that sounds like Ike Turner playing. Because not only does he pick it, but it sounds like he's putting some heavy vibrato, or maybe even using the whammy bar on that. Really cool stuff. So let's walk through that one more time to that point. And now he's going to venture into the 2nd blues box. Something like that. I'm not sure if I got that exactly right. But he's going to slide into the 15th fret of the 2nd string. We're in our 2nd blues box position here in D, which is between mostly the 13th and the 15th frets on the 1st and 2nd strings. And so he's going to slide in, and it sounds like 15th fret of the 2nd string, 13th fret of the 1st string, 15th fret of the 15th fret of the 1st string. And then it sounds like he gets a higher note there. I'm not sure if he's going to the 17th fret, maybe the 16th fret. He does it so fast, it's kind of hard to hear. So it sounds something like this. Then he goes right into a bend on the 15th fret of the 1st string. Like that. So let's try that part again slowly. And he does a little riff. And I think he's going from the 13th fret of the 1st string, whoops, to the 15th fret of the 2nd string, real fast. So let's try that again. Something like that. And then he goes back into the 1st position blues box. And another one of these little bass runs. Not sure exactly what he's doing there. So you can listen to it and know that those are the possibilities for what he's doing. And then he's going to go back to the 2nd position blues box. Play something like that. So he's going to slide again to the 15th fret of the 2nd string. And he's going to bend, I think it's 3 times. And then kind of just let go on the 15th to the 13th fret of the 1st string. Something like that. I can't really make out what he's doing there. Maybe something like that. Then a little lick, if I remember. I'll try to remember this off the top of my head. I know somewhere in there he's going to do one of these bass runs like this. And that's kind of cool. What I'm doing is hammering on from the 10th fret of the 5th string to the 12th fret, and then winding up on the 10th fret of the 4th string. And then he pauses on the 12th fret of the 5th string, and then into another bass drum. I think he does this. And winds up on the 8th fret of the 6th string. Something like that. And then he's going to go into a lick like this. And he's going to hammer on twice from the 10th fret of the 4th string to the 12th fret. And then 10, 12 on the 3rd string. And then into a double stop. And this is something that he uses in a couple different places in this tune. So he's sliding from the 12th, got his first finger maybe on the 12th fret of the 2nd string, second finger on the 13th fret of the 3rd string, and then slides up 1 fret and picks the 3rd string and then the 2nd string. Like that. So he's not doing that, he's picking each string. And then he does another little bass run, maybe something like this. I can't tell where he ends up on that bass run, but that's roughly what he's doing there. And so let's try that part of the solo again. And then this next part, can't remember, I'm trying to remember what he does. Some kind of little riff, check the tab on that one. And then it's on the 1, and that's the end of the introduction. So listen to the original tune. And what I've showed you here should help you figure out where he's playing each part of that introduction. So he starts out in the first position blues box. And he's going to play a lot of, a lot of these little type runs on the bass strings. You got the double stop. You got some playing in the first position blues box. All kinds of stuff going on in the introduction to Double Trouble. That's the first part of this lesson. Hopefully this helps you. Again, I'm not trying to play these note for note. I'm trying to help you understand where he's playing, what he's playing, and you can use that to learn more about where you can play on the guitar, and if you want to play the song, have an idea of how to go about it. When I come back, we'll start taking a look at the fills that are used throughout the song.